Hello, dear friends. Welcome to a new episode of GP Around the Table. Thank you very much for my great friends, Manuel Pesino from Spain. Hi, Manuel. Have a good day.
Good morning to everyone.
Giovanni Zammani from Italy. Hi, Joe.
Ciao, ciao from Italy.
Michel Turco from France. Hi, Michel.
Hi, Franco. Bonjour tout le monde.
Nice to see you. Matt Oxley from Great Britain, from England. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Franco. Ciao. Good to see you.
And a very good day. We're very, very pleased to host today the Ducati MotoGP rider and a big friend, Danilo Petrucci. Hi, Danilo. How are you?
Hello, ciao a tutti. Hello, everybody.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for being with us today. Let's start with a question. I was hearing you were talking about motocross. What happened in these latest days before going to the MotoGP? Are you back on track also on the motocross?
Yeah. Till last Sunday, we have been able to ride motocross bikes, and I ride 3 times. Also yesterday, we have been in Tuscany in a very, very wonderful track, and I am happy because I've been 2 months without riding any bike, and it's difficult. At the moment, I continue to have training during this time, but I felt that I missed something, like a physical condition on the bike, and the speed is there, but physical condition is we have to work, but we have still a bit of time, and it's good. But at the end, I'm very happy to ride again. It has been a long period without bikes.
How is your body today? How do you feel?
I feel completely sore. I feel like I've been punched all the night. And today, I think I will not have training for today.
Okay, a rest. Today it's going to be a rest day. Yes.
Danilo, do you ride 250 or 450?
Yesterday, both of them. Because usually with Andrea we ride 250 bikes, but for example, Jack Miller is always jogging with us because he said that we are riding his bike. So I'm riding with 450, and I like, because if you are able to hold the bike, because it's very, very powerful, you have less problem. Bigger engine, it's more easy, but for sure, if you ride it very, very faster and stronger, it's like a MotoGP bike. I mean, it's the powerful bike of we have now, and it's heavy. But I like a lot to ride motocross bike.
So you send the video to Jack just to show him that you are no kid anymore?
Still not. We managed to ride together. We ride together last year in California with Jack, and we managed to go again in California during the races, but we have no races this year. So I don't know when we can have some training together.
Okay, Manuel, let's start with the MotoGP session.
Yes, let's start with the work, not with the fun, with the job. Danilo, one question is, you have been especially fast in Qatar at the pre-season. You did a fantastic long run. I imagine that for you it has been really a disappointment to have been thrown into the lockdown, okay? I have 2 questions in one. The first question is, what did you do to be that fast in the pre-season? And the second one is, do you think you will keep the level when you come back in July, maybe in Jerez?
Especially this. The story is that we had to understand the difference between the rear tire, the new construction on the rear tire, and this is for us regarding Ducati. It has been the major, the biggest changes during the winter, because last year, unfortunately in Valencia, I was injured at the shoulder. I cannot ride in after the season, the after season test. In Jerez, we found very bad weather, so we arrived in Sepang with no so much idea regarding the behavior of the rear tire. And in Sepang, we struggle a bit for this, especially for managing the throttle and stopping the bike. And we understood that. But in Qatar, then I did just the first day time attack at the end of the day, and I was in 4th or 5th position. Then the two other day, I just worked to set up my bike for the race, and I was really focused on that race pace, because I was, especially in that race simulation, I was in with the soft rear tire, and I do a good race simulation. Quartararo was slightly better, but I was second faster, I think, looking at the times. Then it's difficult, because sincerely I'm quite scared about the temperature in Jerez in July, and especially I don't know if the Michelin knows exactly which temperature will be in Jerez in July, because will be extremely hot. Usually during Jerez weekend, holding in May, we have very cool temperature in the morning. The track is very fast, but then in the afternoon, the situation it became worse and worse, because the temperature of the ground is already over 50 degrees in May. In July, there are 34, 35 degrees, and maybe the temperature of the asphalt can reach 60 degrees.
Wow.
And no one talk about this, but this is a problem for MotoGP now, to make a tire that lasts for 28 laps in a very stressful track. For tire like Jerez in July will be extremely hot, and extremely difficult to understand which tire we need. It's not easy. I mean, I think we have to understand if for example the Michelin will be able to understand all of these conditions. They have to do a good work. They are already doing a good work, but the problem is that we have never been in Jerez in July, and this is a question. And usually Jerez has been not the best circuit for Ducati.
Okay, Michel.
Ciao Danilo.
So, Michel,
You were speaking about about your friend Jack Miller. I know it's a friend of a lot of people, but he's also a kind of opponent inside Ducati for you. We know that last year he was pushing to get your seat in the factory team. We know that you are of the few riders that didn't confirm anything for next year, and you have to prove everything in a season that will be something we still don't know what it could be. So how are you mentally prepared to this special championship, in the fact that you have to secure your place for 2021? How are you feeling with all of this situation?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. This is more or less the situation. But for me, it's not something really new. From 2017 coming here, I had to renew the deal, the contract with Ducati every year. from 17 to 18 for just 1 year in with the factory bike in Ducati team. Then that year I've been against Lorenzo, let's say, and I just make the deal in Mugello when Lorenzo won the 2 hours after. Then last year I had to fight again for renew my contract. So for me, it's not really a new situation for myself. I mean, for because a lot of condition, a lot of situation since.
Danilo, we lost you. Danilo, just
I heard you. Ti sento.
okay. Adesso sì. Now we have it. Can you just repeat the last few words?
Yeah, I say that for me it's not a really a new situation that I have to fight with someone, and yeah, for sure I think Jack has maybe already a fit inside Ducati. I haven't received any news, any communication from them, but the rumors are that maybe.
No, we lost Danilo. Maybe you said that the rumors are. We lost when you were saying the rumors.
I haven't received any communication, any news, but I read from some newspaper, from some website, and that maybe Jack has already a fit in Ducati, and the battle is the battle. They have to choose between me and Andrea for the next season. I haven't told with Ducati. There is Alberto Bergani that is talking with them, but they haven't decided yet. But for sure, yeah.
Right. Well, Danilo, my question was more about the fact that we will have a special season in.
Yeah.
No, with difficult to prove anything in 2 months with special races in the same track. Like you said, race will be something that nobody knows in July. So it's very, very special.
Yeah, for sure. It's a shame. I'm very disappointed about that, especially because I miss the races where usually I was strong in this part from May to July. I've been always very, very fast, but yeah, we start immediately after, and it's another test for myself. Maybe if I can be fast even in this track that I'm not usually very, very fast, but I think it's a proof that I can be ready for fight all the year and for improve my result of last year. For sure, like you say, it's a pity that we cannot prove our performance during all the year. But what we can do? I have a big opportunity with Ducati this year to prove that I'm ready to fight for something bigger, and I have to take it 100%.
Giovanni, Zam.
Okay. Ciao Danilo. It's very strange for me to speak in English with you, but it's the situation. Danilo, always about the future. It's very strange because in Ducati, from outside, it seems that they always think to another rider. They have a Crutchlow and they think to Iannone. They have Petrucci and they think to Miller. They have Dovizioso and they think to another. It always seems that they are not sure that their riders are so strong. It's correct my idea, or it's not like this?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's correct, but I I I am let's say spectator. For sure, it has been not really nice to discover already at the end of last season that Ducati was looking for other riders, not only for me. I mean, regarding not only me, I mean regarding two riders, changing the two riders. But it's let's say it's the life. Sincerely, the fact is that I don't want absolutely to put myself, and I don't want that Ducati put myself against Andrea like they did in the past, because I remember so well when the two Andreas fighting together. I know, and Dobby is really clever and really smart in this condition. But you know, during the races, I speak for myself. You can do stupid things for trying to do better and better and better. And sincerely, I have a very good relationship with Andrea, and I don't want to that someone uh, put ourselves in competition, because we are already in competition. I mean, we use one each other, the other, and yeah, for sure. I another time, another year, I have to prove that I can be a rider that can win some races during the year. And then I must say that Ducati knows me since 2015. They gave me a good chance, but I gave my 100% during this year. So yeah, I have to give it all this year, and try to be competitive. And sincerely, I want to remain with Ducati as many years as possible. But it's not only depending by me. I mean, yeah, for sure the results count, but like you say, they have been trying to they have been looking for other riders.
But shall we go to you now?
Ciao, Danilo. I just wanted to go back a bit now, go back to the past and talk about your preparation for last season. And because we heard a lot, I just wanted you to talk to people about how you changed your mental approach, how you worked on your mentality with psychologists and so on, what this did for you. And do you think this was a part of your victory in Mugello? Do you think it helped?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, I changed many things during last year. Maybe it was even this reason that in the second part of the year, I became more nervous and more, let's say, not focused on the right thing. I mean, during the first part of the year, I was everybody that is not they lost Lorenzo. They have Petrucci still not won. I was especially with only 1 year contract and not really in the good situation. And I give really all I have for fighting with the top guys, and I did, because at the end of the first part of the championship, then I start to be a little bit tired, and in the same time, I discovered that I was third in the championship with a long gap to the fourth. And I must say that in the last, I mean, from Le Mans to Sachsenring, I was the second best one, looking at the points before behind markets. And I said maybe I can fight for something bigger. And I start to be more under pressure, not looking at the riding the bike, but looking not doing mistakes. And when you think like this, you are thinking not in a good ways. And in fact, I was fast, but always trying to do something more, and this leads to some mistakes, especially in FP3 qualifying. That is really really important in MotoGP to start in a very good position now. And yeah, we think about this during this winter. We change something for feel me better. And I think during the preseason the work was good. We have to check during the race, and especially during these difficult times when you are talking about the future, and you are racing. But unfortunately, we are talking about the future, and we are not racing. This is the cruel thing. But I think Ducati is very smart and clever, and I think they will wait to choose for they will wait the races. But in the meantime, I'm working for sure with my uh, physical trainer, my mental trainer, and I have training both physical and mental, and riding bikes, hoping that we can race in July.
Thank you.
Manuel, go back to Manuel Pesino in Spain.
Yes, Danilo, it's hard to speak English the whole the time.
Sorry.
Danilo, regarding what you just said, how will you go out in the races? Like thinking in the championship or just thinking in the result? And the second thing is, I imagine you would prefer very much start in Red Bull Ring than start in Jerez, don't you?
Yeah. I must say that I did a step last year after Austin, where Miller was on the podium and I was sixth again. And also last year, the beginning of last year, good position. Already there was the rumor that Jack could take my seat. So after Austin, I said, okay, I am really, really.
We lost you. Okay. Well, really, you say, sorry, Danilo, I didn't get.
I was really, really sad because
Okay.
because I think I follow my dream during a lifetime for reaching a factory seat, and now I'm not joining it. I'm not enjoying this seat really much. I said, why? What's going on? I just think to myself. I just say to myself, why I'm not enjoying this? Because I was thinking too much things. In Carets, I said, okay, maybe you are out because your seat has been taken. So just did your best, ride your bike, and don't think about all these things. And from Carret, I start to step on the podium to do good races. But then I felt all these difficulties. Then the renewal of the contract was getting late and late and late. I was performing well, and maybe all these things, all the efforts I put in that part, I felt really tired when we join again. But I don't think this is I mean, this is not a fact. There is always in MotoGP there are always very very good riders, and there are a few seats for the bike, so you have always to fight. And let's say that I want to improve my results of last year, and try to fight with the top guys, and end of the I feel okay. Then I just want to ride my bike as best as I can. I don't know how will be to join the bike again in Jerez. Will be tough, but it's the world championship, and it's very difficult for everyone. And for sure, more or less all the riders are scared to join the bike again, because this has been a very very long stop.
Okay, Michel.
Danilo, two short questions. The first one is when you arrived in Sepang in February, you were really fit. Despite the Christmas meals, you lost a few kilos, and you were in a very good shape. Could you tell us how do you are now after 3 months at home eating your mother's food? First question.
Yeah.
I let you know my second question, Danilo. You were speaking about factory team and the target you had to join this factory team. In the case of you were who Ducati would offer you for next year a ride in a superbike in a factory team, what would you prefer, to go in a factory team in one superbike, or to stay in MotoGP in another independent team?
For the first question, I must say that I have a very very good times at home with all my family. I eat very very good food, but I even have training a lot. So I am more fit. I feel I need. I mean, I am lighter than the Sepang test. The problem is that in Sepang test I was even really prepared, because we can have training at the gym, and especially with the motocross bike. Now I think I'm not 100%, but because I lost the condition on the bike. I mean, I'm very very good with the cardiovascular system, with cardio system, aerobic, but I have less muscle in all my body. I with the motocross bike, I struggle after 20 minutes of riding. It's more or less like a MotoGP bike. So at the moment, I am half of the race. I'm good half of the race. We have to work for the second half, but we have still 2 months, and we prepare for this. Then for the second question, sincerely, I haven't received any formal or informal communication from Ducati. They offered me in the past more than one time that superbike seat, but as I show them, I can win even in MotoGP. I don't know if I'm ready to fight for the title, but if we can go back 1 year ago, I think nobody bet on me for fighting for the third place at the end of the championship, or winning a race, or doing good. So I prefer to stay in MotoGP, but I don't know if in the future there are some let's say satellite
Independent team, yes.
can help me. I mean, not for something special, but just for the seats available in MotoGP. This is the question. And then I haven't think at the superbike, switching superbike. Still not, because I think I'm not feeling complete in MotoGP. I think I can do more. Then if there are no places for me in MotoGP, I will look for something. But I haven't think about the superbike. I'm looking since many years with more interest to switching to another specialty. I want to try Motorelli. For sure, not for trying to race, but at least I want to race in my lifetime with the MotoGP bikes and with let's say Dakar Rally bikes. The
Wow.
two opponents, two worlds at the opposite.
The opposite. Yes. Nice.
And-
So
nice.
Sam, you will have to come back to Dakar.
Yeah. I would like. Sincerely, I already received an offer to try one bike, but I'm not at the moment. I'm focused on MotoGP bikes. Then I have some project when my MotoGP career has finished with bikes, but. At the moment, I prefer. I say it's like saying I gave it all in my career. For sure, a superbike is a series that I like, but I don't know. I'm not thinking now. I'm going through the A plan, not looking for the B plan. And when someone would say that the A plan is not possible, we look for the plan B. And at the moment, I'm focusing to do my best during the season, if we can ride.
Okay, go back to Giovanni Zamagni. Zam, to you.
Okay, Danilo, coming back to the victory of last year in Mugello, you said before that, and everybody knows that you have a very good relationship with Andrea Dovizioso. I wanted to know what's happened after that victory with between you and Andrea.
But for sure, I was really sorry because I need to pass him for win that race. After the race, I had this feeling that first of all, I haven't enjoyed at 100% the victory because win the first race in Italy with a Ducati, like Italian, was just like exploding a bomb in Mugello. I mean, there was a big mess that I must say 1 year later that I haven't enjoyed or haven't really experienced the first victory like I I said more than a time that I would like to first win in another circuit or enjoy the physical the sporting target you reach, because in Mugello I just don't, after crossing the finish line I haven't understand nothing, and there big mess. Yeah, I remember I have few images of the podium because your life is passing through, but the feeling I remember so strong, the feeling I had on the podium that I wanted to close myself in a room with no light, with no noise, with silence and dark, or understand what I did. But unfortunately, for 1 week, it was not possible. And I was in the same time. I said to Andrea. Andrea was very disappointed because he wants to win the race, and especially uh, he set that kind of overtake. The problem was that he was in the middle, and after some days, but I start to say to him I was really sorry for that, but we was still very very hot from the race. I mean, we talk at the end of the year in November, and I repeat to them. I repeat to him. Sorry, uh, I I'm so sorry for that day because I prefer that you were fourth. I mean that you were not involved in the battle because we helped together, and I was really sorry. But in that moment when we was racing, I don't think about it. I feel I just see the space. I don't think it was a very strong pass. I did already during the race. If you watch the race, I did already to him. But yeah, I felt that Andrea was not really happy about the race after the race because he wants to win the race, and maybe he doesn't expect me. Maybe I also won because both Mark and Andrea doesn't expect that I was able to win the race. But then with Andrea the relationship is still good, but we maybe we understand that when we close the visor we are like a killer and we cannot look for someone else.
Yes, no regrets. It's correct like that. But sorry, Danilo. Sorry.
Unfortunately, not. I mean, we always talk one each other to help us during till a warm up session. But then it's difficult to switch completely the mentality and say I want to stay 100% in front of my teammates. But unfortunately, for staying in MotoGP, we have to stay not only in front of your teammate but in front of everybody, and you cannot look for someone else.
Okay, Matt, it's you now.
Danilo, we all love to ride motorcycles, and if I don't ride for like 1 or 2 weeks, I start to go a bit crazy, you know. And I want you to talk about your feelings, your sensation you had when you got back on the motocross bike after 2 months. You must have been a real feeling of joy to be moving and riding again.
Yeah. Feeling of joy, and but first of all, this is the strange feeling that I was really on tense. I got really tension, even if it was a motocross day, because I don't remember how long time I have been stopped for 2 months. I mean, just for after an injury, and so I was really on tense. I said, okay, it's Sunday. We are on in a motocross track in the middle of the country. But I stay 10 minutes, just feeling the bike, and then I start to push again. But the situation is strange. We are let's say yeah, athletes, but we cannot exercise the motorcycling sport. We have to ride with motocross bike, but it's not our sport. So as I told you before, will be very very tough to join again the MotoGP series in Jerez in July. I mean, will be yeah, for sure the season will be shorter but more difficult because we have any data from any circuit maybe. I don't know if the calendar will be out today or tomorrow, or I don't know. But we have to work uh, let's say, with more intensity before joining the bike again, because it has been a long period. But for sure, as I told you, I did the race simulation, and on the motocross bike was easy to go after 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes of race time, doing a race simulation on the motocross bike. That is, the intensity is very similar to MotoGP, and in this week I never go over 25 minutes. So maybe just 2/3 of the race. So it's a long work that you have to do again. We do it in January and February, and now we have to do it in Jan and July, May and June. I don't know. It's not easy. It's absolutely not easy, even because we don't have the same setup like we had. I mean, a gym training, you can move around, you can go. It's not like this. There are more difficulties in this period.
Okay, it's been very nice, Danilo, listening to you. We are now going to talk about the latest news from the calendar. I don't know if you want to listen. You can stay with us and join us. It's a big pleasure.
Okay.
Otherwise, we just let you go to your physical training. You decide. If you stay with us, it's
No. I want to listen with you.
You listen. Okay.
Now it's our time to speak and you to listen.
You listen, okay. No motocross for Pessino, Oxley, Turco, and Zamagni, but the latest about the calendars. Who is going to start? Michel, you're starting?
Okay, I can start. Okay, I collected some information the last days from, especially from Hervé Poncharal, who, as you know, is the manager of Tech 3, as well as the president of IRTA. So what he told me is that he confirmed that we should start in July in Jerez for the two last weekend of July. Then we can move to Czech Republic for one race in Brno. So it will be 3 races in a row. And from what I understood, we can do more than that, because the rider did a break after 3 weekends in a row. So after the Czech Grand Prix, which could be held at the date it was scheduled from the beginning of the year, so the first weekend of August, we can have 1 week, a break of 1 week, and then 2 races in Austria on the Red Bull Ring, and then after that moving to Misano, because the direction of the track said that they would be pleased to have 1 or 2 races there. And after that, the plan is to go back to Spain for racing in Barcelona, Aragon, and as well Valencia. And maybe we could go between these 3 races the beginning of October in Le Mans for the French Grand Prix. There is a possibility to have the race there the 11th October. So this is the plan. About the overseas races, there is still a possibility, but to have overseas races, we need to have an open door. Because what explained me, Poncharal, is that the cost of the overseas races is very high compared to the races, because you have to send the people, you have to send the materials. So the cost is higher, and you need to get money from these races. You can just say, okay, we race for the calendar. So for that, they have to have open doors. And so obviously it will depend of the situation of the virus in November or December, and the situation of the different countries where could be held these races. Australia, Thailand, or maybe Japan, I don't know. But it seems that the most chance to have a championship will be to have races only in Europe at the time. It's information I collect, so I don't now listen to it.
Okay.
Michel, yes, Michel, a question. What about the UK, or maybe Matt knows something more about UK?
I did contact Stuart Pringle from Silverstone, but he just said there is no news at the moment. So, I don't know. For sure, everything becomes more complicated if, the more travel you have to do, the ferries, the boat, the planes, everything becomes more complicated, doesn't it? So if you can just stick in trucks without having to go on boats or planes, then everything is a lot more simple, I think.
Yeah, I have to say that in some countries in Europe, the circuits have been open already. Last Thursday, for example, I wrote here, there has been a race in Spielberg last Thursday where Schroeter and Folger raced with Yamaha R1. Well, we know that in Misano, there are also training. Pirro, I think, was training the other day, right, with a street bike. I know that in Andorra, they have opened all the facilities, not in Spain yet. So
Yeah, but
slowly, the things are moving. And regarding overseas, I have collected in the last days information from some colleagues in Thailand, in Malaysia, and in those two places, they think that regarding the championship date, the races could be held on open door. This is what they think at this point. So they are just waiting for Dorna. But if the evolution in these countries are as it goes now, there will be open races. And regarding Japan, thinking that the 8 hours have been put at November the 1st, open doors, 8 hours. So there is also a chance that Japan can be held. I spoke with somebody from Honda this week, and they are absolutely committed to hold that race in Motegi. So, and you know that Motegi is a Honda track. So Honda really wants this Grand Prix to happen in Japan. This is the situation I know.
but
Okay.
well, just one thing. Once again, everything will depend on the situation of the virus. We are speaking of situation in 2 months, 4 months, 5 months. So who knows what could happen? But as Matt said, the main problem will be to travel and to have the quarantine in the different country. And we know we have a lot of Japanese in this championship. So how they will travel between Europe and Japan, or so it's also one of the problems.
That's the point. At the moment, we have a quarantine in Britain. Anybody coming in has a 14-day quarantine. So unless they come from France or Ireland. So I mean, so if they came on the ferry, they come from France. But this is crazy. But so we do have a quarantine system at the moment. So for sure, that's a big problem.
So here in Spain, today, the main airports are being opened. Until now, we had most of them closed. But for example, the airport of Sevilla has been opened, the airports of Malaga. So, and again, we have also this quarantine, but there will be a special treatment for the Germans traveling to Mallorca, for example. So it's at the end, they will have to fix this. It's absurd, this situation.
Okay. Danilo and Giovanni, do you have anything to say regarding this hypothesis of calendar?
For me, there is no news from when we spoke with Carmelo Speletta. Carmelo Speletta said exactly what we said now, but we have just to wait, in my opinion.
Okay, and Danilo, do you like this idea of racing calendar?
Like it. Unfortunately, it's been the track where I struggled the most last year. But, I repeat, I have to do it with what I have. So I have a factory bike, I have some circuit, and I must don't care about the track or the asphalt or what's going on.
Okay, nice, very nice. Guys, I let you go. You okay? Everything has been discussed. Thank you so much to Danilo. Danilo, it's been so nice to listening to you. So have a good season. Looking forward to talking to you again in the next 2020 season. Thank you very much, Danilo. What, Manuel, are you?
I just wanted, while I was listening to Danilo, a headline come to me, and it's You are too nice to be a MotoGP rider, Danilo.
Oh, that's a very nice compliment. Okay,
Yeah, maybe
thank you, Danilo.
For this reason, I struggle a lot to stay in MotoGP because I am too nice.
Danilo, keep struggling. Keep struggling. Okay? We like you so much and we love you so much. Bye, Danilo Petrucci.
Ciao, Danilo. Grazie.
Giovanni Zamagni and Michel Turco. Bye, guys. See you next week. Thank you to Filippo, the direction room. Bye, bye, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Oh, bye bye.